Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome to this new moon reading for October 2024. So I just drew 3 cards, very simple cards, different type of reading today, maybe. And I'd like to share what message is coming through this reading, and maybe there's something that I haven't even thought of yet, but I've just been sitting with these cards for about half an hour or a little bit more now. And the time of the new moon is very soon to now, so it's a good energy building up to this time, and it's probably quite appropriate cards for a new moon energy in general. So this was the first one, this beautiful Page of Wands, and I think that's the one that sets the scene for this reading in general. And the other 2 cards that came up in this 3-card reading was again another page, this one, but a reverse Page of Pentacles, and then the 10 of Wands. So we've got the Page of Wands and the 10 of Wands, that youthful part of us that's grabbing the wand at the beginning, and then us carrying the 10 wands at the end of our wand journey, or at the end of the fire, the light element inside of us, and what that actually means. So let's unpack these 3 cards together. We'll read them all as one, and maybe I'll dance between each of these cards while we're speaking about the meanings and speaking about a message that might be useful for us in our lives right now. First of all, this Page of Wands. Who is this inside of us? And the pages are such beautiful cards on many fronts. But they're tricky on other fronts, in that they represent a youthful part of ourselves. And if you're like me, feeling not as youthful as I once was, then this page isn't something I normally see as, myself. I'm supposed to be the more mature one. I'm supposed to be the mature version of Marcus, who's got to past that half century and moving into the latter years of my life. But the page needs to be, as in all the court, needs to be inside of us, and a conscious element inside of us. At least that would be a quality of balance inside of us, if we are conscious of our youthful aspects as well as our mature aspects, as well as our somewhere in between aspects. If we're conscious of our feminine as well as our masculine, this consciousness of these 2 qualities inside of us, or these different aspects of our personality, I think is what creates a more balanced sense of self. And to be able to relate to all of the elements is super important if we're going to find balance, because the elements themselves are all about an equilibrium that is created as we are touching, communicating, feeling, and embodying each of them, but evenly. And we'll naturally feel like we've got a stronger association, or a stronger tendency, or that we've got greater gifts within some elements more than others. Maybe it's the airy mind, or our more watery creative emotions, or maybe we're just plain doers, or maybe we're just all about leadership and inspiration and fire and shining the light. But having a little bit of all of them is what it's all about, and keeping hold of this page inside of us, even as we grow older, is of vital importance. It doesn't matter how old you are. You might be 20-something with a mentality that I've learned plenty already, and lose that innocence of the page, the innocence of the page that says, wow, what's this wand? Oh, there's a wand for me here? What is it? What is this? What can I do with it? What can I do with this fire? What can I do with the fire of my own excitement, the fire of my own passion? What can I burn with this fire? What can I light up with this fire? What can I shine a light on? What can I create change with as far as this fire is concerned? Can I put it under something and create a transformation that's going to be useful for my life? I think it's rare that we get to a point in our lives where we can say, now we can be definitely happy and satisfied with where we are and who we are, but even inside of that satisfaction, there is desire, there's a motivation, there's an idea that we've not finished the work that we have come here to do. We might feel like we're doing it, we might not. We might feel like there's a lot left undone. We might feel like we still got many things to do in this world. And those feelings of having a lot more to do have nothing to do with how satisfied we are with where we are in our lives or how unsatisfied we are with where we are in our lives. If we're a little bit unsatisfied, there's going to be more of that, I want something I don't have. And this page is about finding the inspiration, at least, to dare to shine a light on that and go, well, what is it that I might want? But the want or the desire behind this page of wands, unlike some of the other members of the court, is a desire for change. This is the willingness and the openness for transformation, for growth, for healing, and also the transformation or the desire for a little bit more magic in our lives and a little bit more intuitive, or embodying our intuition, which means finding ways to communicate to spirit, to our spirit, to God, to the divine inside of all of life, and making that connection more real. This is the magic story. This is what we think is the connection of our material-based mind, or, very physically orientated heads, and throwing that focus and connecting to something etherical, something more or less understood, something more out there, a reality which is unseen, something which is not understood yet, maybe by science, something that can't be intellectualized. This is about taking ourselves into the unknown, taking ourselves into the more spiritual, unseen part of ourselves and part of life. This page has those type of desires, the desire to experience a little bit more of ourselves, the desire to transform something, and the motivation to shine a light on who we are, shine a light on the world, and create some passion. And that passion is normally going to be motivated by some form of positive change. Naturally, this guy is going to be a version of what might come in blockage of this change. So if we imagine that the 4 pages are 4 kids inside of us, this is the guy who's going, oh, come on everybody, let's go and do that. That sounds amazing. Look, we can get this out of it. We can do that. We can do this one. Have you seen that? We can crazy magic, crazy amazing stuff. And this is the kid that's like, yeah, but are you sure? Yeah, but that means that I've got to do most of the work, right? That means that I've got to actually be willing to do something new. That's, it's very unpractical. It's not going to be an easy story. Yeah, we can go and try and make this happen. But, there's likely to be a lot of obstacles on the way. And are we really prepared to overcome those obstacles? Are you really prepared to put in the work? And this is the doubting part of us that is not willing to actually make the change. It's very easy to have an idea, oh, I could do this, and then it's quite challenging to actually get up and take a step towards doing what it is we might intuitively imagine is a good thing to do. It's much more challenging to change old habits that we've got ourselves into, to decide that, well, instead of doing this, which seems to work for me most of the time, and I quite like it, and it's very easy and it's natural and I can do it with my eyes closed, instead let's go and do something that you've actually got to pay a huge amount of attention in order to get done. You've got to break a habit in order to actually take one step in the direction of that something new. Are we willing to go into something new, or is there going to be the doubt, the fear, the resistance? And we can expect this resistance. The Page of Wands is the part of us who is always open for something new, always open to go, well, hey, if it's going to create some change, let's do it. And the page is saying, yeah, but not all change is good. You know, it's not always going to be easy. You know that it's going to mean that we can't do this, because if you decide to do that, you won't be doing much of that. And you know how much that's helped us in the past, and you know how comfortable that is, and you know how easy that is, and you want to go and do something more difficult. And these voices inside of us are these 4 pages. Well, these are the 2 we're talking about most of the time, maybe. And we have to find that part of that child inside of us that's willing to just go with the flow and say, yeah, all right. Okay, I'll give it a try. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if we can make it happen. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can take the one step. We'll try it for one go. Come on then, let's do it. But we have to acknowledge our fears. We have to acknowledge the resistance, because the resistance comes through validation. You know, it comes as a validated resistance. In other words, there's a reason for us resisting. There's a reason for us not wanting to jump into new stories. There's a reason for us not wanting to create unlimited amount of changes like the Page of Wands might want to set up for us, right? And that's good. There's some of those limitations are very good. But a lot of them will be through fear, and we'll even have trained ourselves a lot of the time to believe that some things aren't going to be very practically possible or doable. And this means, you know, this comes with that old frame in our heads that, okay, yeah, but how can I do something new at this age? How can I do something new at this stage in my life? How can I do something new with all these other things going on? And there'll be very, very valid resistance stories inside of our mind, inside of our bodies, and inside of our lives. So turning this page around and saying, hey, come on, let's just try it once. Let's just try it twice. Let's give it a go. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can create something new. This is really the only way that we embody this walk in our lives of continuous effort. This card doesn't change in all of our lives. If we're walking our path of passion, if we're walking our mission walk, if we're living a life which is altruistically aligned with our hearts, it's never going to stop being transformational. It's never going to stop being a little bit challenging for us. It's never going to ask us to stop doing new things. It's probably going to always ask us to do new things. And be new versions of ourselves and embody that newness with a new sense of who we can be. We're always going to be asked to recreate our own reality with that creative force inside of us. This isn't going to look the same from when we're 20 to when we're 30 to when we're 40 to when we're 50, 60, 70. It's not going to look the same. But it's always going to come with similar types of challenges. It's always going to feel like, wow, we've really got to wrestle these wands down to earth again. And it's always going to be excited by doing something new and being willing to step into that embodiment of the Page of Pentacles, feeling like she is in harmony with her friend, the Page of Wands, and they can stand together and dance together a new dance, sing a new song, play a new game. Have fun with whatever that triggers for you, or however you relate it to in your lives, and I hope you have a wonderful new moon. Much love.